Hi, my name is Ben Dre Thompson and I'm back with another movie recap video. Today I'm doing a recap of Never Have I Ever Season 1 Episode 4, Devi Felt Super Indian. Never Have I Ever Episode 4 examines identity and culture, as well as the divisions that people impose upon each other. In Episode 4, Devi finds herself confronting her Indian-American identity and what she wants from her future. But she's not the only one. Her cousin Kamala is just as lost about her path forward. Ganesh Puja is a festival celebrating the elephant god. Ganesh is one of the biggest events in India, and apparently also in California. Devi's mum, Devi herself, and Kamala were nervous about this Ganesh Puja. It's their first since Mohan Devi's father's death and since Devi was also disabled. But they plan to put on a brave face in front of their snooty and sarcastic aunties. That plan doesn't go as well as Devi's mum had hoped. The sympathy for her loss was bad enough, but it's the weird correlations the aunties keep making between her very real tragedy and their inconsequential problems that really drive her up the wall. The other problem was that the aunties are very good at giving advice, but nobody seems to stop to think whether Devi's mum even wants their advice. Maybe she just wants to talk about her late husband Mohan, whose loss the family isn't handling very well, instead of being told that he won't ascend to heaven until she spreads his ashes. Devi's mum tries her best to keep calm, in the hopes of making a good impression and staying on everyone's good side. One never knows when you will need these people. But it's been a terrible day and she just needs one win, which she gets in the form of the pandit. It's quite the honor to get a little extra time with the pandit, and offering to drop him off at Home Depot earns Devi's mum some brownie points and the first understanding words of the day. There's another important reason for attending Ganesh Puja in this episode. Ron Hansen Bhattacharya, the sole white man in attendance at Ganesh Puja, as a +1 for his Indian wife. Ron was a career counselor who gets every single one of his charges into Ivy League colleges. Devi needs this man to help her get into Princeton. If she can find him, that is. Why would it be hard finding one white man amongst hundreds of Indians? Because he's hiding in a room far away. He may have taken an Indian name, but Ron's doing nothing to be part of the community. When Devi finally discovers him and makes her pitch to get into Princeton, Ron is less than helpful. According to him, Devi's stellar grades, hard work, determination, extracurricular activities, and volunteering experience don't make her stand out. She's just another Indian girl applying for college. Instead, she should focus her application on her dead father and the loss of her mobility, something Devi absolutely refuses to do. She isn't just another Indian applicant, she's a remarkable young woman with abilities to make any college proud. Ron doesn't see that and Devi storms out, furious. It doesn't help that Devi's already had a confusing run-in with a friend of hers from Stanford, a fellow Indian American who has completely embraced his Indian heritage after rediscovering his identity at college. That's not how Devi feels. She's not completely Indian, but she isn't entirely American either, as white Americans keep reminding her. With nowhere to go and nothing to look forward to, Devi takes her frustrations out on a school locker, only to be discovered by Paxton, of all people. But this is a good meeting. His understanding of her anger and even compliments her on the sari she's wearing. Things are looking up. Kamala was the only one who attracts positive attention at Ganesh Puja, all because she's engaged to an engineer she's never met. This only makes her feel like more of a fraud, considering she only recently got back together with her boyfriend, as we saw in the previous episode. When it's time to pray to Ganesh, Kamala has only one thought in her mind, that her fiancé should fall in love with someone else so she can be free. And her longing for this is so etched on her face that even the pandit sees it. If Kamala was hoping for some kind of inspiration, this puja is not it. She meets Jaya, the outcast in the community, with a story that could change Kamala's life. Like Kamala, Jaya was once engaged to a very suitable Indian boy, but came to America and married someone else. The marriage didn't last and now she's alone with her children, in the shadow of her two brothers who have done exceedingly well for themselves. She's shunned by everyone around her and is desperately lonely. Kamala tries to put a positive spin on Jaya's life. This could eventually be her life, after all. But Jaya point-blank declares that she wishes she'd listened to her family. This is not what Kamala needed to hear. This episode was quite an astute examination of Indian American culture. I like that the writing didn't denigrate every aspect of it, but that it also held a sharp lens to the way people interact with each other when they feel duty-bound to because of a sense of community. Unlike the first few episodes of the show that gave viewers fairly clear answers by the end of the 30-minute runtime, this episode offers no resolutions to the characters. Devi is still as lost as she was before, even more so because she's realizing how much she misses her dad and how she doesn't have an outlet for that pain. Devi's mum similarly alone in her grief. Aside from Devi and Kamala, her immediate family seems to be far away and she has no one to share her loss with. Camilla is in a worse situation than she was in the previous episode. The one person who could have inspired her has pretty much told her to do an about-turn on her convictions. It will be interesting to see how the characters react to their circumstances in upcoming episodes.